Dun 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 dun. Alright, so today what we're doing, it's a little TLC. I'm sitting in my truck. My 2014 F-150. So I've been noticing, I mean it's off right now, but the steering's been kind of seizing up on me a little bit. Tough to steer. The rack's not leaking or anything, so what I've figured out is that there's this linkage in between the steering wheel and the steering rack that has some U-joints. So those on these I guess Rust Belt Northern Fords, or they like the U-joints on those like to seize up. So I've been kind of keeping it moving with some WD-40, but it's time to get the part in. So in this box is a shaft with some new hardware, and we're just going to get it done today. So should be a nice how-to for you. So here's the engine bay. I have a 5-liter because trucks should sound like dogs barking. Anyway, so there's one of the U-joints. You can see I put some grease for my tractor on it. So that'll be that bolt will be taken out, and then this shaft from here down to in there. You can see I put grease there just to get it by. We'll be taking that bolt out, and then we're just replacing the shaft that goes in between those two parts. Shouldn't be too difficult. So the first thing we're going to want to do, if you're going to do anything with a steering system, is there's a spring inside your steering column. That's like when you're driving and you let go of your steering wheel, that's what makes it go back kind of on its own a little bit. So there's a spring in there that if we take that part off and we don't have this wheel secured, this thing's just going to go flying, unwind that spring, and then I'm going to have a real problem on my hands. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get a strap, tie it to the brake pedal, to the steering wheel, that will keep it from being able to freewheel, and we'll get her set. Alright, so Alright, so got the strap on. You shouldn't really need a lot of tension, just something to keep it kind of like in place, and so that won't let it get out of hand. So we should be good there. And the nice thing about the steering shaft is that it's keyed, which means it can only go on one way to the rest of the steering system. So it's not like I'm gonna like some of these things will have like spline teeth on them. Sorry, got the sun in the background there. Some of these things will have like spline teeth on them. This isn't like that. So this is the shaft we're replacing. It's got a slip joint on it, so that as you articulate the suspension and stuff, you don't like, I don't know, it just can keep working, and it needs to change length basically. So it's got a keyed kind of connection. It's got a square on both ends, and where the bolt that holds it in goes through, there's like a recess on the receiving part that will show. So yeah, so that should be pretty straightforward. One other thing I did was there's 2 bolts for this. I ordered them as well. Sometimes I reuse bolts. you can. These were only like less than $1 for both of them. So benefit to doing that is you get pre-applied Loctite thread locker on there. Plus, you know, I mean, like for me, when I'm doing a repair, it's usually because something got corroded or rusty because where I live and how they treat the roads in the winter around here. So it's just a good idea that, you know, if you can get them, replace your bolts too. It's not really that gonna add that much expense to your project. So anyway, so I've got the steering wheel kind of locked in with a strap there. That way it doesn't spin out of control on me, and we should be good to get started now. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the top. That should be a 13mm head. Yep, and it is. So let's see if I can get this started. Yeah, there we go. It's been on there a while. I probably should have hit it with some PB Blaster or WD-40. I think I will actually. Alright. We'll just get the WD-40 in there. There's like a slit that compresses. So I'll spray it in there, let it get on the threads. And while we're working on that one first, I'll try and squeeze this down here and get the second one. That's gonna be tough. Pretty much got that the whole way out. I'm going to spray some WD-40 in there to let it penetrate a little bit, because we'll probably need a hammer to get that off. So I'm going to leave that in there just to kind of keep it from getting out of hand while I work on the other one. This one's way down in there, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I might not have the right... Yeah, I need to grab a different socket. Alright, so it's a ratcheting socket, so it's really good for low profile work, and they've got these nifty ratchet features built into them. Super handy. I recommend every home mechanic get a set for their personal tool set. Really, like I said, they're good for tight spaces for sure. Alright, here we go. We got the bolt. It's out. Put it right there. Like I said, we replaced it. Or we're going to replace it. So now we can take this other one out the rest of the way. So one thing we will have to do once we go to put this all back together is we'll probably torque this top one down and get that one as tight as we can by hand. But I'll have to turn the steering wheel a little bit once it's hooked back up so we can get better access to that bolt, because there is a torque spec for these. So we're going to want to make sure we hit that. There's the other bolt. Alright, so next... So now that we got those out, you can see where it was in that empty hole there, and there's another one on the bottom. I'm not going to try and show you. So what we'll do is we'll get a hammer, and just from up here, right on the top, we'll hit that end in to get it off that shaft. All right, so got our just regular old whatever hammer. Got plenty of room right here. There we go. Alright, top one's off. Let's see how we're going to get the bottom. Oh boy. A little more persuading. See if that did it. All right, here we go. One intermediate shaft removed. So here we are with the new one and the old one. You can kind of see there's, nice and tight, and these are just flopping around. Whoops. These are just flopping around. These are nice and tight. Nice and tight down here, and these are a little tighter, not too bad, but this should make things feel a little bit better. All right, so we got to make sure we put this in the right way. Small hole goes on the bottom, big hole on the top. I think I'll do the top first because it looks like it'll be the easiest to line up. I think it went that way. And where's my big bolt? That's my little bolt. Here's my new big bolt. So again, I like to replace hardware whenever I can because you get that nice thread locker from the factory. Alright, so that's getting started, so that's on lined up right. So now we can reach down in there and get the other one on. Perfect, slid right down into place. We'll get this new small bolt, again, thread locker from the factory. Make your life easier and replace your hardware. Okay, I think that started, so we're going to take our same ratchet for now. Alright, that's snug. So now we can snug the top up. Then I'll go get my torque wrench and some extensions so we can actually reach it. That thread locker stuff's kind of cool. It's like little beads. They're like little gelatinous beads, and the way it works is, at least for this pre-applied stuff, is that whenever you spin your threads through your male threads through your female threads, those little beads get crushed, and that's what lets the air get to the inside of them, which is where all the chemical is, and then they harden up. It's pretty neat. I'm an engineer, so I know these things. Alright. So we got the new one there, it's all hooked up, and down there, it's all hooked up. So you can, I don't know if you can see the bolt, but it's kind of going to get hard. It's going to be hard to reach with a torque wrench, so I'll probably have to start the truck and turn it a little bit to be able to get to it. This one I should be able to get just how it is, so we'll do it first. Let me go get the torque wrench. Alright, so I got my torque wrench. It's a Capri torque wrench. I have a couple of these. This one's just nice and small. So we'll get this in there. If you never torqued anything, you go to a Clicks You kind of like, I don't know how to explain it on camera. And this is not a really very high torque, so it probably won't be audible, but the wrench kind of like folds. There it goes. So that's how you know you're good. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Alright, so that one's torqued. We'll start the truck here. Get the other one. 1 second. Alright, so let's take our strap off. We don't need it anymore. We already got our assembly put back together. Oh, alright. So take that off. Take this out from into there. Oh, whoops. Don't go too tight. Alright, so here we will start this bad boy up. Nothing sounds like a V8, boys. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn that wheel until I can see that bolt straight up and down. So that should be nice and easy to access. So we should be good, so we can shut the truck off. So we might even be able to get that without an extension. So let's try. So I think we can. We just might need to go through here a little bit. Nope, that's not going to work. Alright, well, I can't hold the camera and do this, so you're just going to have to take my word for it that I get it. Click, click. Alright, so click, click, it's on. Click, click, that one's on. So torque wrench did its job. So I think the next thing we're going to do, I probably won't bother showing you this, but I'm just going to clean up and then we'll go for a quick test drive. So just to make sure the steering wheel feels good, and that should be it. That should wrap this up. All right, so we got everything cleaned up. Gonna take it for a test drive, see if it drives any better. Hopefully it does. I tell you what, I like all cars, but there's just something about truck with a V8 that just makes me happy. Oh wow, well, that's an immediate benefit. Wow, this thing drives like my wife's new Explorer now, and all I did was go down the driveway. This is great. This is wonderful. So I don't have a lot of space left on this camera storage, so I'll make this short and sweet, but I could have easily taken this to a shop, a Ford shop, right? Gotten it fixed. But this channel is called Mark Does Stuff. So I do stuff. I do all my own stuff. I do all my own stunts, right? I have a knack for just figuring it out, and I don't know, I probably waste more time doing stuff like that, but it makes me happy, keeps me busy, and you know, I mean, it saves me money. I mean, there's been some projects here or there where I've just been like, I should have just hired a professional because it took me so long or whatever, but I still save money on those things, and I still learned how to do something, and the next time something like that came up, I just handled it. Like it didn't take me as long to learn. I mean, that's what you're paying a professional for, is all the time that they spent learning. So, you know, there's several things I'm a professional at, and quite a few things I'm an amateur at, but that's how we learn. So, this was a success. I feel pretty good about it. Truck's driving like kind of feels a lot more like a new truck, honestly. It feels good. So that'll be good. Like I said earlier, I got 127,000 miles on it. Trucks are expensive, man. So I have a growing family. This will need replaced at some point just because of running out of room in it. But I got at least another 80,000 to go before that happens. So hope you enjoyed this little how-to. I hope it inspires you to kind of learn something on your own. So until the next random time I decide to shoot and upload a video, catch you later.